Hello, everybody. It's a beautiful day. It's finally getting cool. Got to bust out my sweaters. Super excited about it. So I wanted to do a video about frequency and vibration and how it relates to like our emotions and our thoughts, and explain kind of why it is so important that we get our thoughts under control and get our emotions under control, like especially things like guilt and and blame, whatever. However, something else has been on my mind a lot today. A lot. And it kind of fits along that same theme of the importance of frequency and vibration. I'm really hesitant about posting this because I really hope it's not taken the wrong way. I'm sure it will be to the wrong people, and that's fine. The right people will understand where I'm fucking coming from here. I want to talk about the Cuties movie on Netflix that everybody's like outraged over. There is a fine line, apparently. You wouldn't think there would be a fine line, but now it's coming out, especially the information that I have coming in right now. Apparently there is a fucking fine line between holding men accountable and going after, nobody's going after anybody, but anyways, calling out pedophiles and men who are sexually attracted to young women and attacking women and their sexuality. We have to be very careful where we point our finger, because where you point your finger is where you are pointing your energy. A lot of us are currently in the present moment trying to reverse I don't want to say patriarchy, but everyone knows that there's a big imbalance on this planet between men and women. And it's not the divine, it's not the way things are supposed to be energetically. Men are not supposed to be ruling. One of the tactics that they have used always and forever has been demonizing women and their sexuality. And a lot of the same people who are condemning this Cuties movie are aware that this imbalance is in play right now. But I think that what the part that they're missing is that this is so hard for me to articulate because I'm fucking blown away that I even have to say this in the first place. When you point your finger at the movie Cuties, and you have hate and disgust in your heart, you're not pointing your finger at the pedophiles. You're pointing your finger at young women, at young girls blossoming into womanhood. I'm very disappointed in how easily human beings are distracted and how easily they are misled. We have to do better. We have to do better. Hatred is I don't want to say it's a stronger vibration. It's definitely not a stronger vibration, but it's a very powerful way to move energy, and it's contagious. Hatred and fear is much more contagious than love and light. So pointing the hate finger, taking the energy that your body is creating and loading it up with fear and hate and then blasting it at a bunch of 11-year-olds on a movie, little girls turning into women, is blasting hatred at the divine feminine. We have to be more careful with what we do with our energy. We have to be more careful. We have to. We are at a fork in the road right now. Humanity is. We can either continue to ride this fucked up path we're on, or we can hop off and start to build something more beautiful. And if we don't get our shit together, not we, if you individually, specifically, can't get your shit together, you're not going to hop off onto the 5D timeline. You're just not. I talk a lot about, I'm a shadow work coach. So I teach people how to cut energetic cords to things. It is imperative that we all cut our cord that's related to political bias and political social conditioning. It has to be done. If you are doing shadow work, if you are doing cord cutting work, you need to start removing your social conditioning so you're not blinded anymore. We have to stop being so easily manipulated. The manufactured outrage around that Cuties movie is a direct attack on the divine feminine. But they've plugged it in the idea that it's related to pedophiles somehow. And so people have all this outrage built up over pedophilia, which is disgusting and fucking terrible. And they've tricked people into pointing it at women's sexuality. Again. My cat is looking at me like I'm a psycho. I'm so sorry, Rosie. I know I'm yelling. We have to be smarter. We have to start cutting our emotional cords and our emotional ties, our negative emotional crap. We've got to do this work. We've got to do it. You cannot be manipulated if you are actively cutting cords. If you're cutting the right ones, if you're working on it all the time. We are literally deconstructing all of the programming that has been inflicted on us since we were born. Especially as women. We got to keep our eye on the fucking prize. And I'm sorry, but the way to fix this problem is to not pretend like sexuality doesn't exist. It's just not. It's not. Here, I challenge you. How old were you when you started questioning what sex was? How old were you? The United States has we are the epicenter for sex trafficking. We have more rape than most of the other places. We also are one of the only first world countries, if you can even call us that anymore, who teach abstinence instead of sex education. There's a connection there. There is a reason why we have the highest amount of sexually retarded people in the United States. It's because we are not taught about healthy sexual relationships. It should start when kids are old enough to start thinking about sex, when girls start their periods, when they start to grow boobs. Girls hit puberty before boys do. We have to start teaching little girls about their bodies. We have to start teaching them what to expect when it comes to sex and when it comes to hormones. We don't do that shit. We don't do it. We pretend like it doesn't exist. We make kids sign abstinence pledges at school, knowing that no one's fucking abstinent. No one is. It doesn't work. No one's doing it, yet we insist that kids do it. Every time society tries to point their finger at men, it gets fucking whipped around and pointed back at the woman. Every time. How long are we going to let that shit fly? How long?